All right, Coach Nate Engel, here we are, Oregon State. Was it your second year here?
Second year coming up, yep.
Okay, so what are your responsibilities here with the program specifically?
Yeah, I would say recruiting's number one, because through every lifeline of a program is recruiting. If you can't recruit, you're not going to perform at the next level. So recruiting, and then also academics with the guys. Staying in touch with our academic advisor, making sure that our guys are getting good grades and not just passing, but staying over a 3.0 and continuing to grow. In the classroom, because we all know at the end of the day, the most important reason they're going to college is to get that college degree.
Yeah, so let's talk a little bit more about recruiting. Just quite frankly, what kind of wrestler are you looking for to come here?
Yeah, I mean, number one, we're going to look at their academics, right? That's the biggest thing, making sure that they're doing the right things in the classroom, because we want to have good academics here. When we took over the program, there was a 2.6 GPA overall, and the last 3 quarters we've had a 3.38 or above. So number one, academics. Number two, guys that are going to fit into, quote unquote, our family, that are going to do the right things on the mat, do the right things in their personal life, and just living and breathing academics and wrestling. And, I don't think there's like a certain type of recruit necessarily. I think that, we just, guys that are doing well at the high school level and not just doing well, but, we're going to do our research and talk to their club coaches and reach out and find more about them, because, you don't want somebody to come on campus that's maybe a great wrestler but not a great person. And we want to make sure that, all 36 guys on our team are just great people.
Yeah, well, there's more than one avenue to get here, right? So I talked with a couple of wrestlers or recruits yesterday in a different location that got here through the junior college route, right? So how do you I'm from Central Ohio,
right?
So you spent some time in Michigan, you were in Stanford before you came here. How does somebody from Central Ohio, PA, Michigan, Jersey, how do they come to meet you? How do they come to know more about the program out here?
Yeah, so the number one thing is we have our recruiting questionnaire on our wrestling webpage, which, that we get all their information, which is great, because then we get to know more about them as not just their wrestling career, but everything, their families and stuff like that. Send us emails. I think, Chris probably gets a ton of emails being the head coach, but, Isaiah and myself, we get emails as well. But just reaching out, because then we know they're interested, instead of us just trying to hound people about certain recruits. So, just reaching out and introducing themselves, I think, goes a long way.
What's next for you and the program? We're on a little bit of a break right now. What's coming up right around the corner?
Yeah, so all of our guys are coming back the 24th. We gave them a 2-week break just because this year was so weird with COVID. A lot of guys weren't going home for Christmas and Thanksgiving and spring break and stuff like that, because we had the NCAA tournament. So they'll be coming back. We're going to start training. Our RTC is getting up and rolling. But yeah, and then our new guys, I think we have about 17 guys coming in, 3 or 4, transfers, and then a ton of freshmen. So we're excited to get those guys on campus and get this beautiful room rocking and rolling, and getting our guys ready, to start the season, and back to lifting. So we're just looking forward to that. There's no tournaments coming up anytime soon, but just training and getting better at wrestling so that we can get ready to start the season on a high note and finish on a high note.
So you were at Stanford, and timing worked perfect for you, because you told me off camera that you left Stanford, and then a week later?
Yeah, about a month later. Yeah, my wife was pregnant with twin boys. I took the job here, knew Chris for a while through wrestling and coaching, and thought it was a great opportunity to move, and literally moved here a month later. I was out to coffee with a friend that lives out here, and my phone started blowing up, and they got word that the program was getting dropped. But obviously, almost a year later now, they were able to keep the program. So it's great for Pac-12 wrestling. I know a lot of the kids there, and so I'm happy for them. And it's good for us, right? Stanford's a great place, and it's a great team to compete against.
Yeah. I mean, I can't imagine the emotion and all that they all had to go through, but you kind of were able to just scoot right in here. It's awesome for you too, as well.
Yeah, everybody kept saying the big joke between me and the old Stanford staff was that I made the best move of 2020. So, it's not, I had no clue that they were going to drop the program, but obviously now it's great that they've kept it.
All right, so one last question for you. How often do you go Greco?
As much as I can. I think I tell everybody that even when I'm wrestling folk style with these guys, I'm constantly trying to tie them up and throw them. And, there's so much that I learned on my Greco side of things that works in folk style and freestyle. And so I try to have that trickle down effect and teach the guys that, Greco is not that big in the States, and hopefully it gets bigger. But if you see, with different tie-ups and hand fighting and positioning in Greco, it helps freestyle and folk style. I mean, you look at a guy like Adam Kuhn and different guys that switched over to Greco after college, Joe Warren, Brad Veering, Matt Lindland, who's the national team coach, and the list goes on. And so you can see, look at Utah Valley, their 125-pounder. He was an All-American this year, and he's made multiple world teams. So, I just try to teach these guys that, like, Greco's okay, and you can do it.
Yeah. All right. Well, I appreciate your time. Got anything else?
No, I appreciate it. Go Beavs. We're excited for this year.
Awesome. Thanks, Coach.
Yeah, thank you.